So apparently, Idaho Republicans are now thinking of passing a bill that would deny offering sanitary products to girls and young women in public schools. They have cited this as woke and liberal to provide sanitary products to girls and young women in schools. And of course, who is speaking out the most about this really important issue? Why, MAGAt dudes, of course, like this one, Darren Mays. Just has to get his opinion in there when it comes to girls as young as 11 and 12, maybe just starting their periods in 5th or 6th grade, and of course, straight on through senior year in high school. Darren Mays believes that his opinion on the matter is important. So let's see what Darren Mays has to say about this. Nice thumbnail, by the way. Typical, ugly, loser MAGAt. Yes, but teachers are giving them tampons instead of pads and making that decision for them. We're going to have a whole generation of women that are worn out before they even give birth. Save something for marriage, just one thing. This is another one of those idiotic takes that there is so much wrong with it. It's going to take a lot to disseminate it all. First of all, MAGAt moron, how the fuck would you know what teachers are giving out to young women at school? First of all, it's not just tampons. They are sanitary products. That includes tampons, that includes pads. There are many sanitary products out there. There are Diva cups. You have all different shapes and sizes and absorbency levels in different sanitary products. Again, these are things that you would know nothing about, or any man for that instance. Even if you decided to make yourself a self-appointed scholar on sanitary products, you are never going to know anything better than a woman. You are never going to know anything better than somebody who is menstruating. And when it comes to girls as young as 9, 10, 11, 12, girls that are just starting their periods, these girls are required to attend schools, just like women all over this country still have to attend work, or they have to go to their schools. They have to do shopping. They have to pay bills. Women tend to menstruate, and menstruating women still have responsibilities. Menstruating women still do things in their lives, even if they're menstruating. Now, for a young pubescent girl, it is a very difficult and can be a very confusing and scary time in her life. Whatever it is that is available, whatever it is that she requires, it's up to her. And a girl in a school is most likely going to go to a female teacher or a nurse at the nurse's office for any concerns or aid she may need. One thing is definitely for certain. Your period doesn't stop because you have to be in school. Your period doesn't stop because you have to be at work. The number one most important thing when it comes to this issue is that sanitary products are required regardless. And if a girl is supposed to be in school or actually anywhere a girl or a young woman, any woman who menstruates has to be, menstruation happens and menstruation requires sanitary products. I have been in places, workplaces and non-workplaces, but important places, where I suddenly get bleeding or spotting, for instance, or I wasn't expecting my period, but it happens. And I have been in a situation where I have gone to a nurse and said, I need a tampon or a pad, whatever you have, and it's, oh, we don't have those. Oh, well, that's that then. No, that's not that. That isn't how it works. And I remember one time I got the female nurse, who definitely knows better, in a lot of trouble, because I ended up just walking out of the building and going home, because sanitary products are a necessity. Sanitary products are a requirement. That definitely goes for girls in school, especially girls as young as 9, 10, 11, who are just starting their periods. This motherfucker, and pretty much no one, especially no man, has any place even discussing this issue. You have no idea what somebody goes through when they menstruate. Not truly. And you have absolutely no stake in this. Every job site, every bar, every public restroom in America at least has a machine for sanitary products, because sanitary products are a necessity. Sanitary products are such a necessity, we had to get them de-taxed. They are a basic health and hygiene requirement for women. Periods are not going to go away. Periods are a part of life. They are a part of basic female biology. I don't need some MAGAt moron, if my daughter were in a public school, thinking people are going to give a shit about his opinion on whether or not my daughter has access to sanitary products at the school she's required to be at. And this bullshit right here, making the decision for them. You know, when I was a kid and we were taking sex ed, we had female teachers who used to state that 20 years prior to our sex ed class, back in the 60s and the 70s, that they would have to take swimming lessons or do certain activities in gym, and all the girls didn't want to participate because they had their periods. So the coach would simply tell them, use a tampon. Right now, pop in a tampon and go swimming. And none of these girls had any idea how to use a tampon. Or some of these girls were started on maxi pads and they didn't know how to use tampons. And that is the type of shit, the type of decision making that this asshole is talking about. This has been happening to women for decades. In today's America, we would like to think that we have gotten beyond that point, that sanitary products are openly spoken about. It's part of biology. Women require them. This is not for negotiation. This is not for argument. It's not up for a vote. And it's not up for any politician to dictate. And some women feel comfortable with pads. Some women feel comfortable with tampons. that is also their choice. It is completely up to the woman or young girl in question what she is comfortable with. And nobody, not even the female teacher or the female coach or the school nurse, has any place even dictating to young girls and young women what type of protection they should be using. It is something that is very personal, and it's up to the woman in question. And like I said, how the fuck would you know, Darren, what they are giving young girls? The bill doesn't even say tampons. It says sanitary products, tampons or pads. That's the first thing. Making that decision for them. How the fuck would you know what young girls are going through in school? Like I just said, decades ago when I was taking 6th grade sex ed, I had teachers who decades ago were being dictated to by their coaches and nurses what type of protection they should be using. If you want to bitch about sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong, you're going to have to speak to people that are older than you are to learn about shit like that. Of course, that's the one thing I don't blame Darren for not knowing. Darren is a typical MAGAt dude. Look at this asshole. He doesn't know shit. He doesn't know shit. We're going to have an entire generation of women that are worn out before they give birth. What the fuck business is it of yours? Based on your dick, you are going to go after young girls who need tampons and pads when they're starting their periods? By the way, a typical tampon is about the width of a finger. Is there something interesting you would like to tell us, Darren? Are you saying your dick is like the width of a piece of spaghetti? This is another common thing I see from conservative religious freaks, because they're mostly religious freaks, on the right. This thing with tampons. We shouldn't be giving girls tampons. Tampons shouldn't be allowed. At the very least, schools should not be providing tampons because virginity. Because it's taking their virginity. Get the fuck out of here. Like it's any of your business what goes in and out of a fucking girl's snatch. And you're talking about girls as young as 9 or 10 years old. Imagine being so fucking entitled, so fucking selfish, so audacious as to butt in on young women and girls' menstrual sanitary product preferrals or preferences. You are going to be so entitled. Imagine just having the audacity of butting your ass into some 12-year-old's bathroom habits because you don't think she should be using a certain sanitary product when she gets her first period. Oh, you motherfuckers. Save something for marriage. Other people's marriage. These girls aren't even old enough to know what type of sanitary product they prefer. You're already speaking about them in terms of marriage. It's none of your fucking business. None of your fucking business. You don't know shit about a woman's body. You don't know shit about menstruation. And I'll tell you something. If I'm in the state of Idaho and my taxes pay for those public schools, I never, ever want to hear that my daughter, no matter what age she is denied a sanitary product when she needs it. I never, ever want to hear that my daughter is denied a restroom. I never want to hear that she can only use one type of sanitary product over another because this MAGAt motherfucker and the representatives he votes for have decided it is imperative they get involved in that matter. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck your political party. You know nothing. And I would fight tooth and nail to ensure it stays that way. Whether it's me, whether it's my daughter, I don't even care who it is. I'll fight for other people's daughters. You are to have no input, no decision-making abilities. You are not even entitled to a fucking opinion when it comes to mine or any other girl's bathroom habits. I think all these motherfuckers should be charged with sexual harassment. They take a very, very disturbing interest into the goings-on of a young girl's vagina or any girl's vagina. I believe that they can't get this far when it comes to adult women. So they're going to go after young girls. I don't see them fighting and arguing to have tampon and maxi pad machines removed from public buildings. I don't see them fighting and arguing for the opportunity to take napkin dispensers out of businesses' public bathrooms. Why is that? Why aren't they saying the town hall should have their tampon machine removed? Why are they not saying that, but they're going after girls as young as 9 or 10? I guess in their batshit religious freak minds, young girl snatches are of special importance to them. Young girls' vaginas hold a special interest for them. This is why we need more education, not less. I can't imagine a generation or two dumber than the current dumb fucks. This is where lack of human anatomy education, lack of sex ed, Christo-fascist purity culture, and misogyny brings us. This is absolutely horrifying. I understand they're trying to dumb people down so they can get their Christian state on the go, but it is ridiculously short-sighted. Failing to educate people weakens the entire economy. I think a lot of them literally want to devolve into local Christian tribes where they have their own small kingdom with absolute power and their choice of young girls. Warren Jeffs, a man who Tucker Carlson has repeatedly defended on his show. Shocking news, I know. Christianity is just a tax-exempt big business to Americans. To the tune of billions at this point. Just look at Joel Osteen. How are you supposed to teach kids to feel ashamed if they have proper education? So inserting a tampon counts as sexual penetration. Got it. Yep, that's another thing with these people. They actually equate a girl using a tampon as ruining her virginity. It never occurs to these people. What happens with any woman's snatch is none of their business. The audacity of these people, too. Like you're going to fucking get any. Like you're going to end up getting anything. You don't have a shot at any young girls. You're never going to have a shot at any young girls. Any girl with an IQ greater than that of a fucking gnat would never touch you with a 10-foot pole. And keep saying shit like this. Not only are you never going to get any, I would fight tooth and nail to make sure if you have children, especially daughters, that they get immediately taken away from you. Here's another one. Why the fuck would Republican politicians not want women and girls to have access to tampons? What kind of bullshit is this? So they want them to bleed all over the place, right? They want them to be confined to the home. Republican voters, do you see this? I've heard all their arguments. Not once did I hear of the girls that have their first periods while at school. Life-altering embarrassment, even though it shouldn't be. This is an age that can define your future. Free tampons and pads could change the future of a young girl's life. Christians don't want their kids using tampons and potentially destroying virginity. And that's the problem. Christians, I don't know who the fuck needs to hear this, but I'm going to explain the world to you, since your religion seems to fail to be doing that. You do not own the concept of virginity. You do not own the concept of sexuality. In the United States, everybody is autonomous. That includes women and girls. What sanitary products they use is not a subject for debate. It's not a subject for a vote. It is not a subject that even requires your opinion. Nobody wants your opinion. Nobody cares. Nobody asked. And we're telling you right now, drop it. Drop it. This is all-out sexual harassment of young girls. And if Idaho has a better IQ than that of a grape nut, they will shoot down this bill because it is fucking disgusting to think that men like these, just any random 40, 50-year-old man out of nowhere, could or should ever have any say in a discussion of what happens when a girl gets her period, what products she should be using, and what using those products will mean for a guy like him and his dick. It's sick, It is absolutely wrong. I am not even going to argue this with anybody. This is just pretty much speaking facts to you. I'm not arguing it. This is not up for debate. That's just the way it is. If this bill gets passed, I strongly suggest somebody take this federal. And I suggest people like this guy, as well as your Republican lawmakers, are held accountable for this type of attack on young women and girls. I'm talking full-out French Revolution type of shit. These people need to be prosecuted. These people need to be observed on suspicion of being a sex offender. That's what needs to happen. Nobody asked for your opinion. Nobody wants your opinion. Your opinion absolutely does not matter. On the subject of sanitary products for girls as young as 9. Drop the issue before you get yourself in some serious trouble. Because I'm telling you, just like I did earlier, if I lived in Idaho or pretty much anywhere, and I or my daughters or anybody else's daughters that I hear about ever face something like this, there's going to be hell to pay. I don't care how far I have to go. And this is the type of attitude everyone in this country, every mother, every father, every good neighbor should have when it comes to protecting our young women and girls. Anyway, just wanted to get that out there. I will be back soon with more Resident Evil 4 probably. Mwah.